Hey friends, Nibs again. Another beautiful night, late July, almost August, 2021, and I wanted to get out and do a little shooting tonight. Usually we have music practice at church on Friday nights, but several people are out of town and doing other things, so they decided to cancel. So I figured I'd run out and do a little plinking, a little shooting. This one that I brought out to do a video on tonight and do some shooting with is actually very, I don't know if I'd call it rare. I guess it's the only one I've ever seen. I've seen a couple other pictures online. I've never seen one for sale on Gunbroker. But this one, not terribly old, so it doesn't kind of fit into the normal mold of my my collection. But when I saw it, I really had to have it. So what we got going on here is a product made by Savage, and best I can tell, these were made probably back in the 90s or possibly early 2000s, but I think it's more likely in the 90s. So this is a very heavy gun. So the stock isn't as pretty as some of my older, nice walnut stocks, but it's not a terrible looking gun. It does have a nice Lyman peep sight on the back, and I believe it's a Lyman globe up front as well. I'm not 100% sure about that. It does use Anschutz Model 20, I guess they call it, Model 20 globe sight inserts for that, which I have a couple of those cards from Lee Shaver. If you're looking for inserts for just about any kind of globe front sight, some of the ones that came with the stock pieces were pretty woeful, so the stuff that Lee Shaver has nice precise cuts and very thin lines, so you can get a much better sight picture. Several different choices. You got your circles and you got your lollipops and posts and stuff, so whatever kind of shooting you're doing, there's something there for you, and they're not terribly expensive. I think a card will run about $25 with shipping. They're well worth it though. I have them all the way from the tiniest, I think, are the Lyman number 17As. I have them going all the way up to, I can't remember, I don't know if these are the biggest or if the Redfield Olympic globes are big, a little bit bigger, but they're about the same size. They are different though. But well worth the money. Well worth the money. I've got one of those little mint tins, just full of those cards, or I pulled them off the card. There's the inserts, so I can pick different ones for different situations. But so this again, back to the gun. This is a Savage, and this is a model 900 TR. 900 TR. Yeah, very unusual. Like I said, I've seen a couple other pictures online, but I haven't ever seen one for sale anywhere else. And when this one came up and it was a decent price, I grabbed it. And it is a very accurate gun. I would say it could pretty easily keep up with some of my other high-end stuff, my Weyerhaeusch, some of my 52s. I know that's blasphemy, but it is a great gun. It's the trigger's nice on it. It's probably not as nice as I know it's definitely not as nice as some of my real good target guns. The Weyerhaeusch's are like ounces, and the my Izmash CM2s, those are really nice. But as far as like a domestic gun, I don't think I've shot a gun that has a better trigger than this one. It's right, pretty equal with my 52s, really. My 52Cs are really, I don't know if they're aftermarket triggers or not, but they're pretty top notch. So anyway, back to this. I keep getting off on a tangent, but so this guy, just a tiny bit of history about where this originated from. Back in, I think, the 60s and 70s, and maybe my Canadian friends that watch this could help me out with, a comment down below that will let me know whether I'm totally off or getting close. But in the 60s and 70s, there was a company, I think they went back farther than that, but a company in Canada called Lakefield. And Lakefield made, shotguns and rifles and what have you. And then in, I believe, the late 80s, or in the 80s anyway, Savage bought the Lakefield company. And for quite a few years, you could find, and I have a couple examples at home, models that were Lakefield models, but they had, instead of saying Lakefield, they said distributed by Savage Canada. I think this one may actually say Savage Canada on it. Yes, Savage Model 900 TR, manufactured in Canada by Savage Arms Canada Incorporated, imported by Savage Arms Incorporated, Westfield, Massachusetts. So this one does say it was made in Canada. So some of the predecessors to this one, which I have a couple examples at home. I have a Lakefield Model 92S, which is more of a sporter. It still has a pretty heavy barrel, but not as heavy as this one. And it has a more traditional stock, so it's kind of a sporter, S for sporter. And then I have a 91T, which is almost identical to this guy. Really, the only difference in the 91T and this one is this one has a 5-round magazine, and the 91T is a single shot only. So and then Savage bought them out, and eventually they dropped the Lakefield name altogether and started just calling it Savage Canada. And they brought this design down to the United States and started producing it here. And that's where the Savage Mark I and Savage Mark II rifles originated from. This action is identical to those. Even I think they're even produced today still by Savage, and they do have some pretty nice Target Mark IIs that I've seen. What else I was gonna say? Oh, so the Savage, also the Savage 93s, Model 93s, which are 17 HMR and 22 Magnum, are also based on this action design here. So different magazine, but the bolt and the whole action is pretty much all the same. And I have a couple of those 93s as well. I have a nice Beechwood stock 93. I forget the model designations. Each one has a couple letters after it to tell you what the model designation is, but I have a 93 and 17 HMR, really big scope on it. That thing will shoot 5/8 inch groups at 100 yards without any problems at all. And then I have a 93 22 Magnum, I think it's a 93F, and it doesn't do quite as good as the 17 HMR, but it's still quite a good shooter. It'll shoot sub MOA at 100 yards pretty much with any ammo I put in it. And I have a Burris scope on that one, really nice scope on that one too. So I plan to bring those out and do videos on those too. So I'm getting long-winded here, but I apologize. But it's a pretty cool gun, a lot of history, even though it's not a very real old design. But there's a lot of history behind Savage taking over Lakefield and everything. I want to kind of get that in here with this. Like I said, it does have a 5-round little box magazine. Looks very similar to the little box magazine used by Winchester and Remington and their bolt action 22s as well. So I was thinking it was going to be too windy, but the wind has kind of died down pretty good here now, so I just put a target at 25 yards. I do have a gong out at 50, and I shot several mags full before I started the video and had no trouble hitting. I shot the target at 25 yards before I started the video, and all the shots were in one little tiny hole, so hopefully I can do something similar camera, but usually I get stage fright and end up not getting quite as good. The sun is in a poor position right now, so as far as getting a good sight picture, but like I said, it's got a really nice feeling trigger. Maybe a couple pounds, if that. I think it's less. Maybe just one and some. But Savage did it right with this one for sure. I don't know why it didn't catch on and get more popularity, but seems like it wouldn't have been a terribly costly gun. It's not, you know, overbuilt or a lot of frills and fanciness about it, but it definitely they put the money where it belongs, you know, in the action, in the trigger, the feel of the trigger, some nice sights on it, and didn't spend a lot of time. Kind of reminds me of the build of my Izmash, like I had mentioned earlier. Those Izmash guns are, that like I just said here, they put the money where it needs to go, in making the action super smooth, the work of the action super smooth, and the trigger real nice, some really nice sights on it. But the stock's pretty plain Jane, and not a lot of frills there. But so I've gone a couple times here, and then we'll wrap it up. Definitely is a lot of fun. So that's out at about 50 yards. Well, it is 50 yards. Got one more. So, alrighty friends, here's the target I was shooting at with my Savage 900 TR. This is at 25 yards off a rest with peep sights. You can see this in this blue tape here. You see this little light spot right here. That was the shots that I had taken previously before I started the camera up. And then you see 4 of my 5 shots pretty much touched that other group of shots that I had taken before. I had one I flinched down. I'm sure that was just me and not the gun. My eyes aren't that great anymore looking through peep sights, so. But still, all in all, a couple of clicks up, and that would be pretty much a 10x, 100 score on out of 10 shots on that target there. So anyway, it's a great gun. Back to the video. Let me give you one more good look at it in the light here. well, you know, so it's not an ugly stock, but it's just not, you know, not super polished and refined like some of the older, you know, Winchesters were really finely done and checkered and all sorts of stuff like that. It does have a full hand stop rail on the bottom with a hand stop. So, you know, they wanted it to be a competitor. Here's your Lyman peep sight. Pretty nice. I forget what the model number is. I mean, it's a 57. Let me say right on the end here. Nope. I believe that's a, oh yeah, there it is. It's a Lyman 90. It's a model 90 MJT for whatever that's worth. And I believe that's a Lyman Globe on the front there too, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So anyway, not to keep it going too long, I already ran it up pretty good, but I just wanted to bring this one out and show you. It's a really cool gun, got a lot of cool history behind it, how Savage bought out that company in Canada, Lakefield, and took their design and ran with it, and you know, made some pretty good product lines out of it. So anyway, if you enjoyed this video, definitely give me a thumbs up. You know, and subscribe to my channel. That'll help out a lot with the YouTube analytics, so to speak. And also, you know, if you really do like my channel, share it with your friends. Tell them about all the cool guns I'm showing out here, and you know, the collection that I'm you know, displaying and letting you guys see. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you think it's a cool collection that I have, and want to see more. I really enjoy doing the videos for you guys. So anyway, I won't keep you guys any longer, but you have a great day, and we'll see you on the next video.